Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 5, episode 21, titled After Hours, air date May 1st, 2002, and the synopsis is
Audrey suspects something is going on between Pacey and Alex, leaving the future of the relationship unknown, while Pacey struggles with his growing attraction to Alex. Meanwhile, Dawson runs into Amy, the film critic, and they end up sleeping together. Dawson finds a movie she directed as a student and wants to see it, but she refuses to let him. Also, Jack studies at the library to catch up on his schoolwork, but ends up going to the front house for help, but they refuse.
so it opens with Pacey and Jack in Pacey's apartment,
Hmm.
um, aka Danny's.
Yeah.
Um, and then it was weird because Alex, his boss shows up.
Hmm.
And that's when I was like, oh, that's, I guess, Danny's apartment. Because at first I was like, whose apartment is that? Because I didn't realize that Pacey had his own place. But then then he finally said that it was Danny's
Hmm.
and that he's just staying there until they find a renter or something.
Right.
And then it was weird because then he was like, oh, you should um stay, rent here. And I'm like, oh, this is weird.
Hmm.
I mean, what did you think of that whole scene?
Well, I thought it was weird that Jack was there studying
Yeah,
because,
why isn't he studying at Graham's? She has a big house.
well, it's because Clifton was there. So that's why Jack
But
was
was
at
he? But was he
the park.
really?
I don't know. We don't see it, but that's what Jack said. So, but you
Well,
think he'd
because
be at the
later,
library or something.
but later on, Graham's is there by herself. It's just weird.
Yeah, I think because he went home by then.
Yeah, but he
So,
can't study in his bedroom at Graham's.
well, Jack said that they were practicing their choir practice, but Pacey that said that's probably not what they're exactly doing. So,
Um, but why is Alex at Pacey's?
apparently to say sorry for kissing him and giving him a present.
Okay, but why? Uh, that means nothing because you are his boss.
Hmm.
Why are you at his place? There is no reason that she should be there.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's getting too creepy.
Hmm.
But again, they love these storylines, but I'm just like, why? There's no reason why you should be there. Go away.
Hmm.
And so you mean to tell me she couldn't apologize and give Audrey her job back at work?
Right.
Like she could have called him in her office the next day or whatever and said, I rethought and Audrey can have her job back and I'm sorry and all of that. She could have done all of that.
Hmm.
Why at his place? And how does she know where he lives?
I don't know.
There are just so many questions
Hmm.
that can't be answered.
Right.
And it's so frustrating because nothing ever gets answered around here.
Hmm. Well, she gives the excuse that she kissed him because she got out of a relationship and hasn't had made a lot of friends yet, and that she was just feeling
You
lonely.
so she
But
just kisses all of her friends like that?
employees, yeah, I guess.
No, but you said she said friends.
But she hasn't
And
made any friends, so she was feeling
yeah.
lonely.
So she
Hmm.
just makes but my point is she just makes out with it's just weird. I don't like it.
I think it meant like she doesn't have anybody to hang out with. That's what she meant.
Well, she probably make out with all them too. I don't know. Well, I wonder why she has no friends. Maybe because she's so mean
Hmm.
and she goes after her employees. No wonder why she has no friends. Like I wouldn't want her as my friend.
Right. And then she says she respects that Pacey has a girlfriend, but if
Whatever.
she
She
did,
respects nothing.
yeah, then she wouldn't have kissed him. So,
Yep.
but yeah, she says that she hopes Audrey can
Or
come back to the restaurant.
or she still wouldn't have come over to his apartment.
Hmm.
Like, what would she have done if Audrey was there and not Jack?
Right.
Like, you don't, if he invited you, that's one thing, I guess. If like you were really friends with your boss, but this is just weird. Like, they're not
Right.
friends. She made a move. No.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And then,
do you think Pacey should tell Audrey?
yeah.
Because remember, Jack's like, oh, don't tell her and stuff. Like, that's his great advice.
Right. Yeah, he should definitely tell her.
I mean, did he remember what happened when Joey didn't tell Dawson? Jack got punched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, did he want this whole scenario to go on like it did for him? I mean, it's like you've been through it, Jack. You were the other
Mm-hmm.
person.
Yeah.
And look how well that happened. It's like, no, Jack, you got some bad advice. I would have thought you would have grew up a little bit, especially after that. You'd have been like, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, tell her.
Yeah.
But no, he's like, don't tell her. What? But I'm glad Pacey's like, no, like I feel bad and weird and like I have to like I'm glad he is the opposite because
Mm-hmm.
Jack wasn't doing good in the whole advice.
Yeah.
I wish he would talk to like Jen because she would have said to tell her.
Right.
He could have got advice from her. I mean, but Jack, but I do, you know what I think is cute though?
Mm.
And how Jack is kind of sometimes thrown with Dawson and a lot of his scenes are just with Jen. I'm glad he's like becoming friends with Pacey
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it's something we don't really see as Pacey and Jack just, hanging out and being friends. Like we know they're
Mm-hmm.
friends, but we don't see it.
Right.
And on my TV shows, I like to see the friendship so that I can believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do believe that Pacey and Jack are friends.
Right.
And it's so cute that they're, actually spending time together and it's not forced.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, because Pacey even told Jack that he can even study there when he's at work. So,
Hmm.
but then before the scene with Alex, towards the end, she's unprofessional again by saying that no matter how cute Pacey looks in his uniform, she promises to be completely professional from now on. Yeah,
Whatever.
right. Mm-hmm.
She is not professional at all.
Mm-hmm. And then Joey is studying in the hall, no, studying in the library.
Now, I have a
Dawson is
question.
nearby. Mm-hmm.
Is Joey and Dawson at the school's library?
Yeah, hers. Yeah,
Because I'm really confused because why is Dawson there? He's not a student there.
I know. And then Jack shows up too. So I don't know.
I'm just like, you are not a student, Dawson, so why are you there studying?
I mean, it could have been the like community library, but still, I don't know why they would all choose the same library. So,
Well, it's just kind of weird that another college student from another college is gonna just study there. I don't know. Like, I could see if it was like in the town where
hmm
like we have one, everyone goes.
yeah,
But it's not. It's literally the school's library, which is Worthington. So I was like, what? Like, I'm so confused at why Dawson would be allowed there. I don't know.
yeah. I guess he wants to be with Joey, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'd be allowed there without being a student. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying is what I don't think you can just invite all of your friends.
hmm
If
Well,
that's
she
the
didn't want
case,
them there, but yeah.
no, but I'm just saying if you did, like
hmm
if she really did want to, like anyone else, if they wanted to bring their friends, I would think that. And think about it. You can't then check out books, right? Because wouldn't it only be for that college's kids, like students?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not like any random kid can go there and pick out books and stuff. So
hmm
why would you be there?
I guess just to be with Joey.
And Dawson is holding up a seat for one of their students who probably
hmm
needs the seat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that would not happen. It's
hmm
definitely a fantasy.
Yeah.
Um, but Dawson's what? Okay, so Dawson's finals, which again didn't really know he really went to college. Because remember, he showed up just a couple months ago to college.
hmm
Um, and so it was funny because he was like, I have 5 movies to get through. And it's like, oh my God, like your finals are probably like the best finals
Mm.
because all you have to do is watch the movies and what? Probably write about them.
Right.
Like I would rather watch a movie and write about it than do a book report.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Dawson has it so easy.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he realizes how easy he has it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because he's at what, a film college or film school, so he takes no other classes.
I guess just different classes for film. But we don't know exactly which
Because you know what
ones.
I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you go to college, your freshman year, you have to take all kinds of classes,
Mm-hmm.
even stuff you probably won't need.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're like your sophomore year, I'm sure you can then take, you can narrow it down to what you really want to study. But I'm just like, huh? You don't have to do that at film school?
Right.
Because Dawson isn't. He has no interest in studying anything except for these movies,
Mm-hmm.
where she has to study for all of her tests.
Right.
So I was really confused at that too. I was like, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dawson's the first person to distract her from studying because he's making noise and laughing out loud in his
Oh,
movies.
and I was like, oh, it's finals for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, the only one we've ever really seen at school is Joey, because everyone else is just parties. I mean, Dawson, we saw the one time when he met, well, who was it, Oliver?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we haven't really seen anyone in school besides Joey. And Audrey
Right.
just parties and Jack and Jen. So it's like, no one, it's just kind of funny because it's like, oh, everyone actually has to study because we're now seeing everyone study. Except for one in particular. Miss Jen, we missed her this episode.
Oh, she wasn't in this one, was she?
Nope. Like,
Oh, yeah.
why wasn't she in this episode? Isn't she supposed to be studying with the rest of them?
Yeah, she should.
I don't get it. See,
I don't
she
think
would
they
have
even
been,
mentioned her.
see, now she would have been a good one to, again, for Pacey to bounce off of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get why they didn't have her help Jack study because he was getting help, obviously, from someone else, but it would have been good for her and Pacey. At least then she'd be in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to just be completely out, like she's a main character,
Mm-hmm.
I thought. I mean, it seems like this episode or this season, they're just like picking and choosing when they want to bring her in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it. I like Jen.
Yeah, she could have gone somewhere with Grams, who was in this episode.
Yeah, but Grams was in the episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was in the episode. So I'm saying she could have gone somewhere with Grams like before or after. So,
I know, but she should have been in the episode.
mm-hmm.
Especially given how it's finals. She should have been stressing out like everyone else. Like Grams could have been down there trying to like calm both of them down,
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Jen. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just it threw me off because I'm like, again, you're not even keeping the main characters in.
Mm-hmm.
Like they pick and choose when they want someone in there, and I don't like that. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why a little bit the episode threw me off because I was like just waiting for Jen to show up, and she didn't.
Mm-hmm. And then when Dawson goes to see a movie because he's distracting Joey, he sees Amy again.
Yeah, that movie critic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, of course the movie critic is at the movie theater. I mean, like the only one in town. Um, and of course she runs into Dawson just randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how random do you think that was?
I don't know. Apparently she was there on a date. So,
Oh, and apparently she left her date
mm-hmm.
because
Because
what
she
the
didn't,
way he was chewing his food or something.
yeah, his candy. Mm-hmm.
I can't. Um, but it's just weird because I don't know the fact that she I don't know. I feel like a little bit she's stalking Dawson. I feel like
Maybe, yeah.
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she knows when he goes to the movies or something. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
because she just seems to be around.
Yeah,
Um,
so,
and then she invites him over to her place.
right.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, do you like her?
I don't really care for her now.
I feel like she's a little too forceful. Like Dawson's not that person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird how he's what likes, hangs out, I don't wants to be with, I don't know, someone that's that forceful.
I don't know.
I just don't like her. And how old is she?
I don't know that either. At least
I don't
past
get it.
25, I think.
Well, yeah, because she's already a movie critic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't get it. And then Audrey and Pacey are going back and forth, right? At the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the kitchen. Audrey does not work there. How is she allowed in the kitchen with them? Isn't there
I guess,
laws?
well, I guess Alex hasn't seen her, so that's why.
But she doesn't work there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be back in the kitchen, I would think, if you don't work there.
Or maybe she was picking up her last paycheck.
Cynthia. She
What?
was doing no such thing. She was just going back and forth with Pacey as if she worked there.
Right, I'm just saying she could have had that excuse to go there.
But she didn't. She didn't say it.
Or
And when
maybe it
she ran
happened and we didn't
into,
see it.
yeah, but when she, because then didn't Alex come in? I don't know.
Yeah,
She just, yeah. And it's not like she said, "Where's my paycheck?" Then you would have known. She didn't go get her paycheck. I just was like, "You can't be in the kitchen, Audrey. Out you go."
she must have just let her for Pacey to
I
make him
don't think
happy.
Alex let her. I think Audrey did what Audrey wanted to do, which is what she does most of the time.
Well, she didn't kick her out when she walked in. She just told
No,
Audrey she hopes that she can come work for them again.
no,
So
I think
that's
she
why.
knew if she would have said that, then like Pacey and Audrey would have got mad. Like I was waiting for her to get kicked out because she doesn't work there and she shouldn't be back there. I have major issues with that.
Oh no, she's
Like,
gonna come back apparently,
like
so it's not a
if
big
you
deal.
don't work there, I don't want you near my food.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing. I don't know where you've been.
Right.
Like you don't work there, so you don't. Like, I just don't like it. I follow the law and rules, and clearly Audrey doesn't, and it bothers me. But then again, most of the time she bothers me. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Audrey in this scene figures out that probably it's most likely that Alex has something for Pacey and that's why she's being nice and letting her have her job back.
obviously,
Yeah, but Pacey's denying it. Because Pacey says that Audrey's a good waitress, and Audrey says she knows that everybody knows that she's not a good waitress.
yeah, and that she would have been fired the first week.
Mm-hmm. Or she said first day if it wasn't for her boobs, yeah. And then, Audrey asks Pacey if Alex hit on him, and he says no, and so he's just denying every little thing. And then she's even checking his pulse when she's interrogating him about it. And he says it's only because he's nervous and scared of dying that his pulse is racing.
Oh yeah, it's because she had it on his neck.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't really care for it. Because again, she's in the kitchen.
Yeah. So when Pacey is just in denial of everything, she just yells that she quits because he's missing everything that's going on around him, and leaves.
Like he's so busy fighting with her that he
Mm-hmm.
is going to poison someone.
Yeah, maybe.
Think about if you put something in the food that someone's allergic to.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? All because you're caught up with Audrey? Go away. Fight
Right.
later. Like she has so much time now because she's not working that she can fight with him. So fight with him when he comes home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you know his schedule.
Yeah. And then Amy and Dawson are at her place now, and they're just talking about movies, and then end up sleeping together, and then talking about movies again.
Um, I mean, did you like the whole thing?
Not really.
I will say that, well, is it because you don't like her?
No, I just don't really see how she's important to the plot line here. Dawson.
Um, because he loves movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I will say that Dawson does need someone who he can talk movies with all
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yeah.
Because like when he tries with Joey, Joey's like, she does to a point, but it's like, okay, let's get back to reality. Let's, get back to like what my life is about. And with Amy, that her name,
Mm-hmm.
he can talk movies all day long.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the person that he needs to be. Now, I'm not saying Amy and like, I'm just saying someone in general that loves
Mm-hmm.
movies like he does. That's who he needs so that he could be himself.
Yeah. And
Because
then,
we got to see him in his glory with Amy because it was all about movies, the
mm-hmm.
good and the bad.
Yeah.
And apparently she made a film, like she was starting to try to be like him when she was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then she quit because she said she
Yeah.
didn't have like the talent that he has or something.
Yeah. She said the movie was bad and other people thought that too. So she refuses to let Dawson even see it. And then Joey's still in the library when Audrey sits down and says boys suck.
Uh, and then Audrey said that she thinks Pacey's cheating. And did you see that Joey smiles and said, Pacey doesn't cheat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, oh my God, I love it. I will say though, like Joey, this just the whole episode, she's just in the library.
Mm-hmm. Being interrupted.
Well, it's like when like filming that, you don't even have to move.
Mm-hmm.
And she got to like lounge around in the chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Audrey says that she thinks that, Alex likes Pacey and she's the affair type, so it could happen maybe. And then, Joey points out that if Alex wanted Pacey, why would she keep her around? And Audrey answers to make him happy and keep him off guard. Like the expression, keep your enemies close. And then Joey came back with, has she ever heard the phrase of you need to be medicated?
Because
That
that's
line
what
said
Charlie
again.
said.
Yeah. So it's like he's rubbing off on her a little bit.
Charlie's not even in the picture.
I know, I'm just saying from before. And then Audrey says that she knows Pacey is covering something up. So Joey says maybe he has something else going on, like a family thing or supervising someone at work or even planning a surprise for her. Getting her a present. Audrey says she does have a birthday coming up. So now she's got her mind on that.
Audrey, I feel like is gonna fail her finals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even Joey tells her to study. And she does, but only for like a minute. And
Okay.
then,
But then Pacey and Alex again.
hmm
Ugh,
yeah, but at the end of the day,
talking. Yeah.
hmm
Okay, and you know what was weird?
mm,
She said, go be with your Audrey.
right. I think she's just trying to be sweet, but yeah.
Go be with your Audrey? I'm like, what?
hmm
Oh my God. Like, I can't with that Alex.
Yeah, so she's working on some books, book work that's due tomorrow, and Pacey, is late, so he volunteers to walk her back to her place because apparently it's just around the corner because Pacey mentioned that his friend Joey
Oh,
not too long
yeah.
ago.
What was up with that? My friend Joey, I did like an eye roll because my friend, I'm tired of this friend thing. She's the love of your life. Now stop with the friend thing.
Oh, he's with Audrey currently, so
Oh, I got a comment. It's coming up, and you probably won't like it because you like Audrey.
okay.
But this is why I do the eye roll.
And then they get to, well, they're walking, and Alex calls Pacey a friend because he's volunteering to walk with her and carry the books with, so she doesn't have to because they're heavy. And Alex said that maybe he needs someone who knows how to take care of him. And this makes Pacey uncomfortable and says maybe she just needs to let a guy walk her home. And that's when she agrees. But yeah,
Um, well, but then we go to Jack. What is up with Jack going to the frat house? I mean, seriously.
he's desperate for help.
The frat house
Mm-hmm.
of all places.
Yeah, because he knows they have notes and everything that he doesn't have.
I was like,
That
this is a snooze fest. This is like so dumb.
no, it made sense to me. Like I said, because they have all the notes and everything from going years back for all
Okay, but they
classes.
don't like him, so why would he go? They kind of tried to destroy him, so why would you go?
Like I
Like,
said,
I
he's
would
desperate.
never go back to someone that has destroyed me like that. I,
Like I said, he's desperate to, pass this final. So
It's called study.
Well, apparently he hasn't been there all semester, so he has nothing to
I
study.
know, so it's his fault. So you're
Mm-hmm.
in a rut because of yourself. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna fail college. Okay, don't you think that the professors are gonna go, you've gotten like F's this whole time, and all of a sudden you're gonna get an A?
Right.
Don't you think the professors are gonna like, I don't know, notice that and point it out?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna get kicked out because the truth is you cheated?
Right.
I mean, come on now. This is just dumb. I don't like the storyline.
And they tell him no because he's not part of the Brotherhood anymore.
Yeah, and
So,
they say what tests and stuff. Like, we don't have
mm-hmm.
anything.
Yeah, they don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, but then Pacey. Okay, this is where Pacey and Alex are again. And, because they finally made it to her house or whatever. Then they hug. I was like, ew. Like, that was like, a very long hug, too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
But then there's Dawson and Amy again. Um, and it was weird because they bring up because she was like talking about the girl that he um like I don't know needs to be with or whatever. Like, oh, because they're talking about fighting and how he was like, well, I'm not a fighter and stuff, and she was like, oh, but the person that you I don't know how she said it. Um, like that person that you'll be with or whatever is the person like you're gonna fight with and all of this. And he's like, oh, yeah, I have that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because then he was like, and she was like, oh, why aren't you with her? And he was like, oh, she spent the night with another guy. What? Who in the world is he talking about?
Charlie.
She spent the night with him. What is he talking about? I don't get this at all.
He's just assuming it. He doesn't know what actually happened. Just nothing.
I, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused. I'm like, who in the heck is the other guy?
Charlie, and I don't think he even knows that Charlie even left, so he just in the dark.
Hmm. I just, it threw me off. And then I was like, and it just bothered me because I'm like, the only one that she slept with is Pacey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think she wanted to with the professor, but yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, and then before that, Audrey and Joey are still in the library, and that's when Audrey brings up that maybe Pacey's planning a trip for them both, and Joey is still having distractions from her. So she eventually slams her book, but the slam was really loud for me. Like it sounded like it was coming in off from somewhere else near Joey, but not exactly. Like still kind of in the back. And it was so loud that you could tell it wasn't from the actual book she was holding. It was like some other sound effect that they were using. 'Cause it sounded like so loud it was like a gunshot almost.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a gunshot.
Yeah, so it just didn't make sense to me how she was able to slam it that hard.
Well, and then it was weird because like everybody like looked over, which is what you
Hmm.
would do, and then everybody just went back to what they were doing. Like Joey
Yeah.
was loud. Like I would be just still watching what was going on.
Yeah, or even like the librarian didn't say anything to her. So,
Well, and then you got to think too, it's not her book that she's slamming.
hmm
So yeah, I feel like you would get in trouble for that too. Like you don't slam the library's books.
yeah, unless that was one that she bought. But and then after Audrey leaves, now Jack comes in for a second and asks if he knows or she knows anything about calculus that he's studying for. So the distractions never end.
If she would have been in her dorm room studying, she wouldn't have
Hmm.
all this interruption.
Yeah, the only one that would have interrupted her would have been Audrey. And then Jack gets home and Rams is relieved because she was, wondering where he was. She was wondering where he was, and turns out Eric was there waiting for him to help
She
him
doesn't
study.
she doesn't wonder where her granddaughter is.
I guess not. No, it's not mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell at the frat house that Eric wanted to help Jack
Hmm.
because of the look on his face. And so I was happy that I mean, I mean, again, I don't remember everything that happens on the show, but I was hoping that he would show up for Jack,
Hmm.
after everything that's happened,
Yeah.
partially his own fault.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like I was happy that he showed up because you could tell he wanted to, and it's like just do the right thing. Like,
Yeah.
yes, the frat house doesn't need to know, so just
Mhm.
do the right thing.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny how, Jack's like, how did you get the notes? And he's like, I just put it in my backpack and left. And I'm like, it doesn't seem like possible, but okay. Because I feel like he would have had to take a lot of them and then like just walk out with his backpack, you know, not looking suspect, suspicious.
Yeah, but if you're
Didn't seem
going
too
back and
easy.
forth, like all he had to do was say I'm going to the library or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna be like, "What's in your bag?" I mean, you
I just
can
thought
come
maybe
and go
somebody would have noticed that they were gone the notes and whatever things to keep them in.
if they have that class, which it doesn't sound like they do.
Right. I was just
So,
thinking that sounded too easy.
well, he's gonna put them back later.
I just thought he'd be caught by now.
I don't think like anyone is like, over it going, where is it? Like, at a library.
Hmm. Well, maybe somebody would have checked on it in case if they thought maybe somehow Jack got in there himself and took the notes. So just to make sure he wasn't in there.
No, I feel like they realized they kind of scared him off in their own way.
Yeah, I guess Jack doesn't really seem like the scared off kind of person.
But I did think it was yeah, because Jack's like, you're really gonna do this? Like, like
Hmm.
risk everything? And he's like, what? Like get kicked out of the frat house? Like, you
Hmm.
know, I've heard people survive after,
Yeah.
aka Jack. I don't, but if you're really talking about Jack, I don't think he's really surviving too well.
Right.
Like, look what he's done to his life.
Hmm.
He doesn't go to school. So he's failing, and he drinks every night too, where he's drunk, and
Hmm.
he tried to kill himself. So it's like he's not doing too well. Like, I
Did he?
do feel like he does need a friend. And
Hmm.
I'm happy that Eric was there for like at the end because it's like he did need someone because he was spiraling.
Hmm. And then we go back to Pacey's apartment or temporary apartment where he's taking a shower and the doorbell rings. And of course, it's Alex again.
Uh, okay, what kind of employer goes to see their employee at 2 a.m.?
Nobody.
Because Pacey's like, or one of them was like, oh, it's 2 a.m. And it's like, what? And then
Yeah,
it was weird because she was like, oh, you just dropped me off an hour ago. So you dropped off at 1 a.m.
I guess
I don't
that's,
know. This is all too late for me.
hmm yeah, so she's there to see the apartment because she's thinking of, renting it or whatever.
I know, but who goes to see it at 2 a.m.?
I know.
And that's your excuse? Come on now.
Hmm.
Come up with something better, which there's nothing
Yeah.
that would, have you go there at 2 a.m.
Hmm. And then she brings up drinking the champagne she brought him earlier as a gift that they could drink. And then
Um,
she calls Pacey a doll and says she respects him for having the strength to not act on this thing, meaning like their attraction towards one another.
yeah. And then Audrey walks in.
Hmm. Just when they were talking about earlier how
The
they felt the
kiss.
heat, yeah, when they hugged and kissed, yeah.
Hmm.
So that Audrey, clears her throat to let them know that she's there, and she says, Pacey, you might as well close the door to
Close the
keep the
door.
heat in, yeah. And then Pacey goes after Audrey, of course, trying to explain what she saw.
So when she leaves and stuff, and he goes back in, and then he acts on it.
Hmm.
And then of course Alex stops it.
Hmm.
She definitely did it, I feel like, on purpose to break up Pacey and Audrey.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, if you don't want him, then Why did you try to break them up?
She
I just
just
don't.
wants the attention from him.
It's just annoying. Because then, like, she stops it and she was like, this is inappropriate. And I was like, oh, you mean like as inappropriate as you inviting yourself over at 2 in the morning?
Hmm.
Like, what? And so here's my thing. All right, this is what I was going to say earlier. My thing with Audrey. Mm. I'm really happy that this actually happened because not that to make Pacey a cheater, but when he was with Andy, when he was with Joey, he didn't even think there was no other, girl, woman, whatever in his view
Hmm.
except for that person, whether it was Andy or Joey at that time. He didn't
Right.
even think there was nobody else. It was
Hmm.
just them.
Yeah.
So the fact that he actually can put somebody's in that view, which is
Hmm.
Alex,
Yeah.
makes me think he's not into Audrey.
Right.
Because if he was, he was like madly in love like he was with Andy and Joey, that would never have he would never have done it. It wouldn't even have been in his mind. And when he was in the office and she made a move on him, he wouldn't even have been that close.
Right.
If he was with Andy and Joey, none of that would have happened. He
Hmm.
would never have gotten that close to his boss. And he never would have tried to sleep with her because, he loved them. So I was like, isn't it cute that I feel like he doesn't even like Audrey? That was my thought. Because again, Pacey is a one woman man, and the fact that he could do that means bye bye, bye bye, Audrey.
Hmm. Yeah. So before that, Pacey goes back and tries to explain to Audrey, tell her and say that, nothing happened, it was innocent, nothing really happened. Like I said, nothing was going on, but she knows better and, all her suspicions from before are true. And she knows that now, definitely. And he's still like in denial and saying like he didn't tell Audrey about this before because he didn't want to embarrass Alex, but that's not really an excuse. And she's like, if you wanted her to stop, you could have stopped her, but he didn't. And, like to just fed up with it.
Well, again, he's not into her. So move on.
Mhm. Yeah. And like if something was happening, he should have just quit his job, but he says he needs the job and he hurts her by saying that it's not like he's some rich college girl who can quit when the mood strikes him. So that was
Which
the last
is
straw.
true.
Yeah.
Well, because sometimes you just have to do what your boss wants.
Hmm.
Like you have to stay on their good side. And um, so for him, I mean, yeah, he still does need it. I mean, think about it. She could have fired him when Danny left because Danny hired him,
Hmm.
but she didn't.
Yeah, I'm just saying because Audrey was already pretty hurt, so that was really a low blow. That was her last straw, so she tells him that he can have his cake and eat it too, and walks away. And then yeah, so he finds out that everything was kind of thrown away because Alex doesn't even really want to be with him. She's just kind of using him for the attention and just knowing that they could have slept together was enough for her. So, and now apparently Joey is still in the library, even though we already know that we were about at 2 a.m. in the morning. So, like, the library is still open at that time and Joey's still there and all those people are still there.
Yeah, I
There.
guess nobody, or I guess they don't close the library,
So it's like
which is
24
weird
hours.
because remember when she was there for the scary episode?
Mm-hmm.
Um, they closed, remember, because they said it's almost closing time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, they do have hours, just not this episode. Hmm.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it seems like to be
Or
like,
or maybe they during finals week they keep it open so that you can study all night.
yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I guess they could do that. It would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
In case like you worked and then you couldn't get out till 2 a.m. to study. I
Mm-hmm.
guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to help them out. with their
Mm-hmm.
storytelling.
Yeah. No, this time there's a couple making out nearby Joey, distracting her again, so she asks if they can just get a room because it's a library. And luckily they do, but I don't know how much time she's going to get done still, even though it's late, but
Again, she just needs to go back to the dorm room.
mm-hmm.
She's getting no, she wasted her whole day.
Yeah.
Well, and then she kept talking about summer school. She has A's in all of her classes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think doing a little poorly on your exam or in your finals is going to make you go to summer school.
Yeah, I think she's just being dramatic to get whoever was
She
distracting her
is being
then to
dramatic,
leave her
but she
alone.
keeps saying it. She thinks she said it to Audrey, and it's just like, Joey, you're not going to summer school. Like, you of all people are not. I mean, Jack definitely needs to go, but I just don't get it because I'm like, you're not gonna fail.
Mm-hmm.
So get over yourself.
Maybe it's just the anxiety of it all. It's getting to her.
Yeah, but she just didn't need to say it.
Well, then the next morning, Amy wants to give Dawson something before he leaves, but it's not her movie, it's another movie. It's called What's Up, Tiger Lily? And apparently it was Woody Allen's first movie, so this scene didn't go as well. Because apparently, well, we know, well, I mean, do you know about Woody Allen?
No, I do want to say it.
No, I'm just wondering, well, you can look it up if you want after, but
No,
he's
I
just
know,
not a good,
but
yeah, oh yeah, he's just not a good man. But apparently he had taken this movie because it was originally from, I think China or somewhere, but he just took the audio and replaced it with his own dialogue. So I didn't think you could do that with movies unless it was like a language job, but he just like put a whole new dialogue to it and I guess made it like a different movie that way. So that's what she gave Dawson to watch and keep. And then I thought it was cute how when Jack's about to go off to school the next day or this same day, Graham's hands him his lunch and he kisses her on the forehead.
hmm. I have a question. What did you think of Dawson sleeping with Amy and like it not going anywhere?
Kind of pointless.
Like Dawson's not that guy.
Hmm.
I feel like this episode, the writers were definitely trying to throw the guys off,
Yeah.
as
Something
in,
like that.
as in Dawson and Pacey. Like Pacey doesn't cheat, but they're trying to make him out to look like he does.
Hmm.
And then Dawson doesn't just sleep around, but yet he did this episode. Like, I stop messing with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'm like, okay, so she's going away. Yay. I mean, I really have no feelings either towards Amy because I'm like, I didn't like her from the start.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's okay. Plus, I'm not Dawson. Like, I don't love to, hear him talk about movies 24/7,
Hmm.
So I'm like, I'm not Dawson, so I don't, those scenes didn't really like make me happy. They were just scenes to me in a show.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe for some people who love that, great, but not me. And I don't think you either.
Well, I wouldn't mind. It just depends on the person. But Pacey does end up calling Audrey, but she doesn't pick up, and she's just sitting there listening to him on the machine. Still doesn't pick up. And then Dawson finds Joy in the library, just watching her, and then he gives her a movie, not movie, a coffee, and then he says the movie that he saw was fun, inspiring, and completely unexpected. Me Amy.
Do you know what I thought was weird?
Mm,
Like she was sleeping kind of like with her head down and stuff.
yeah.
And I don't know, just like she wasn't stretching, because like, how your neck would be kinked and stuff.
Hmm.
She wasn't doing anything, like as if she was like that for hours.
Hmm.
Like you would have stretched a little, you would have tried to like rub your neck, like it's sore. She wasn't doing any of that. She literally just sits up and goes, "Mm." Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
If
unless she
I'm
just.
sleeping in the chair or something,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna just sit up and go, okay, I'm fine. Like,
Yeah.
no, because your neck would, like I said, your neck would hurt. and you'd be
Mm-hmm.
stretching because you were sitting like that, like, in that position. Like, there wasn't, she could have done a little better with that. I'm just saying.
Unless you just
How
fell
come no one
asleep.
gave her that? No, huh?
Unless you just fell asleep and then woke up when he walked in.
But even still, she wasn't moving around in the chair.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Cynthia, you just fall asleep like this and then you're good. You don't have to
No,
you don't even have to sit back in the chair and readjust yourself or anything.
yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you would do something besides just pick your head up and keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. I'm like, what are you, a zombie?
Yeah, so Dawson asks if he can just sit there with her for a while, and then
And he falls asleep. She's yapping.
yeah, so she said that she feels like the whole world was attacking her tonight, completely distracting her from what she spent her entire life preparing for. I guess her first semester of college. But yeah, she's goes on about the metaphor of the whole semester and how it's been one big left turn, that it's been bad because it um but not just because it's been bad because it hasn't, but because she doesn't get herself back on track. But then she stops because that's when Dawson closes his eyes.
Um, Dawson's line.
Mm-hmm. From Amy
Do you like
earlier.
my shoes?
Yeah, because that's what he learned from Amy. Because Amy said that she liked Dawson's shoes, and from that she felt that he was safe. So when Joey says yes, he gets the impression that Joey still has feelings for him. Just from that,
I
yeah, it
don't
doesn't
get
make
it.
sense.
I was
Yeah.
like, what does Dawson's shoes have to do with anything?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused by that. I'm like, did I miss something? Because
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
just kind
get.
of yeah, a callback from the scene with Amy when he
So
asked her why.
now he thinks that Joey likes him because of his shoes.
Yeah, because Amy said, she slept with him because from his shoes, she felt he was safe. I guess, yeah.
Because you can hate somebody but think they have nice shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get this. I'm like, huh?
Right.
I'm so confused. Whatever.
Yeah, so that
Uh,
was the end.
Um, so I will say I did like this episode better than I have been because season 5 is so not good. Remember I was dreading it from the beginning to hit season 5. Now that we're here, thank God it's ending. Um, I mean, we've got 2 episodes left, but what do you think? Like, how are you feeling with season 5? Are you happy it's going to be over soon? Or did you
Well,
like season 5?
it was okay, with some episodes. I just don't know what it doesn't seem like they're building up to anything to be big for the finale at this point. It just kind of feels like a lot of filler plot lines. So,
Episodes, yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen at the end.
Well, yeah, because now that they're not in it's about to be summer soon. What can they really do? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what, are they all going to go on a trip together? This show
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do that.
Right.
So it's kind of like, what would be your big cliffhanger, your big ending?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to remember that this show doesn't do drama very well. So remember season 4 finale? It was so bad. Remember they were just spending their last couple days together, the 4 of
Mm-hmm.
them, and it was like ugh, it was just so bad, and that was their season 4 finale. So season 5 probably won't do any justice either. In my opinion, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I mean, I did once a long time ago. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just happy to get rid of season 5.
So highs and
So
lows.
yeah, so my high, um,
Do you want me to say mine first?
no, my high was when Eric was helping Jack.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Um, because it was like Jack was so desperate. It was like someone needs to save him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everything Eric did wrong, it was like, he's finally making up something for it. And then my low was Alex getting in the way and, the whole trying to sleep with each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to make Pacey the cheater.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, so my high was the same as yours, and my low was the breakup with Pacey and Audrey.
What? You like those two together?
I just didn't like how it ended
Oh, but do you like
with
them together?
Alex. Not really. I know it's temporary.
Um, all right. And then I would rate this an 8 because it was definitely better than it's been. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it could have done some better. Like, could have done better. But I mean, I was actually, watching the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, what's going to happen next with this one, which is what I want to see. So that's why I give it an 8. Because sometimes I'm so tuned out that it's bad. But this episode I actually liked, even though it revolved around like studying and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I just gave it a 7 just because I didn't like the whole plot line with Pacey, Alex, and Audrey.
Hmm.
And then best
Uh,
and worst.
so I don't know if we're going to be on the same page, but um, for the best, I picked that frat boy, Eric.
Yeah, me too.
Because everybody else, when I was thinking, I'm like, no, no, no. Everyone was just so bad in their own
Mm-hmm.
way
Yeah.
that I was like, none of you are gonna be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the worst, I picked the boss, which is Alex.
Yep.
I mean,
Me too.
why do you have to keep going to Pacey? I don't get it.
Right.
So yeah, I was like, and then she made the move and it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was like, she's the worst.
Right.
I mean, they were all kind of hitting lows.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was doing good.
Right. Not
Hmm.
even Joey, who was just trying to study.
No, she was boring. She didn't do anything besides studying and yell at everyone. So
Well, they were bothering her, so I get it.
go back to your dorm room.
Well, maybe the material that she needed to study was in the library, and like before, she couldn't take it outside the library.
Well, I would feel that she would know the material. She what got 4 point something
Oh,
for her
apparently.
GPA. I would think that she would know the material, or she'd
Yeah.
only have to like look over it for an hour.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, Charlie had distracted her, and that's how she got behind, according to Audrey.
Don't throw Charlie in this.
Well, that's what Audrey said. So
He's not even here.
I know I'm just saying from before.
I will say, I miss Jen and I miss
Mm-hmm.
Charlie. I will say that. All right, what's the next episode?
Episode 22, The Abbey. So is this going to be about Abby now from before?
It's a weird title.
Like somehow bringing her back to present day? Like
She comes back from the dead.
not from the dead, but like something happens that reminds
Oh.
them of her or something. I don't know.
Oh, I guess we'll find out.
Or someone goes through something similar. I don't know. I mean, Jack was kind of close with the whole jumping off the roof to the pool thing when he was drunk.
Yeah, but that
But
wasn't the title. It
yeah,
could have
I know.
been, but
Hmm.
it wasn't.
So I'm just wondering, yeah.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.